New episode out, and today we're gonna do some walk around of the Alpena just to make sure we have it ready as it should be for the season, and we're gonna unveil the new project. That's a huge project, but it's cool, trust me. So without delaying any further, let's go. You all been watching the Alpena project from start to finish? I hope so. If not, there is still all the episodes along the way from when we got the core until the engine was put together and all the steps until the ready to run car was exiting the garage. So I endorse you to really go through those if you're into an E28 project, like I usually are. So anyway, we're gonna look at the car today before we store it away for some months, and the final parts has arrived, and we're gonna look at those. So we'll do that. Yeah, to start with, we had the car polished and coated the other day, so it's really shiny. Paint job is magnificent. Everything is spot on. It looks great, and yeah, it's impressive how it turned out. I didn't have the expectations, or well, in somewhat I did maybe, but I think it turned out just in the best possible way. So we're gonna look at what's been done since the last time. You might remember that I had a temporarily instrument cluster in the car just to make sure I could run it to storage and back, but I sent the parts down to Ivo Christoph in the E28 specialist in Netherlands, sorry, and got them back the other day. Looks great. It's now the blue Alpena dials, and yeah, the range is now 280 kilometers an hour, and the rev meter is up to 8,000 RPM. So it's a little bit different from before, and there is no fuel econometer in the rev counter. So that's why I used the dial or the plate from the clock. Send that along to him. Everything else has been refurbished. The electronics are updated and well working. So everything is now working just like it should, which means also the service intervals and everything. So everything should be up to date and working well. So that will be interesting to try out on the road when the snow disappears. So to put the air filter box and the airflow meter back together, and to put it on the engine later on, we need to put the this bracket. This is essential. It's hard to find, but if you do find one, please or go ahead and buy it. So you put this clips like this, one from outside, one from inside, and you put the silencer, or whatever you want to call it, air filter box. Like that. Then you put it upside down, and this is the rubber feet that will make this one sit towards the valve cover on the engine. So you need to put some kind of lube. Window cleaner, my favorite one. It disappears once you're done with it. Then we're supposed to have some rubber feet on the airflow meter, so we can put this one as well in place here on the bracket. And then we have a rubber hose in between, so that's next. New rubber bushings in place. I use universal ones, but they do the same job. And yeah, then we just slide those three into those three locations. Like that. And we slide this in Right now I'm missing this hose here, but it was in really bad condition, so I get to order a new one or find another one in the stock. And like you saw me doing earlier, I put the air silencer, or this with the air filter box in place, the airflow meter, and we're gonna put the hose in place as well. I'm just gonna put that out, pick that up from the storage. I'm gonna also install the washer container with the pumps and everything. That's not connected yet. Small things, but the rest working well. So I'm looking forward to having this car for inspection and getting it road legal within this year. Yeah, so I think for that point, everything's done. So now once the Alpena project is more or less done, we're gonna show you the last parts as well when we get the hose and everything that's still missing. We have some new project in the workshop that's gonna we're gonna spend a lot of time doing, and it's not gonna be a quick fix or anything. It's on my right side here, and yeah, why not show you? So all of you who know this clothing from before, I've always dressed in the BMW to like mark out what I'm doing on the channel. Now it's a different type. For those of you who know the silhouette, maybe you have an idea. And I guess I saw in the comments some of you really guessed spot on what this might be. And it's a fun project I've been thinking about doing for several years. And I got this project maybe 5 years ago. So finally it's time to unveil it and show you what's going to happen. So within a few months or so, we're gonna get the parts to start the build for real. So right now it's just a teaser, but you're gonna know what it is. So before doing anything else, I think I'm gonna change. Yeah, this outfit will suit a lot better for the upcoming project. And for those of you who knows and recognize the silhouette hiding under this cover, knows a little bit about what it might be. So, and you've seen in the logo of the channel, of course. And I didn't want to tell it straight out, but I guess you had it on the sense. So I'm going to show you around before we uncover the actual body. Yeah, it's hard not to recognize the silhouette of this body. And I guess the logo will also show a little bit about who's deciding or who's the boss. Is it Lambo or is it Ferrari? Well, that's up for each and every one to think what they want. But I think this might be fun to follow. Hiding under here is a fiberglass body that will need some tubular chassis made. So as you could see, the building table we made in the last episode is pretty much crucial. So without further ado, I'll uncover the body.
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini.
So, what we're looking at is a Aventador, in this case LP700, the first version of the Aventador that was released on the market. And this is a replica body. It's a fiberglass parts, 100% fiberglass, and the parts 3D scanned from original parts, which means the dimensioning and all what comes with it is 100% to OEM. So that's also a benefit, if you say, to be able to fit original parts to it, like lights and stuff. So the aim with this project is to make it a replica in the most possible way and to be able to fit the parts that differentiate this car from other cars, like really model specific things like lights and stuff like that, so it looks 100%. So that's what triggers me, is to make it really, really hard to differ from a real one. That's the aim. The thing is, it is not going to be an LP700, it's going to be an SVJ. So we're going to replace the parts on this body that is not the SVJ today, which means front bumper needs to be replaced because the SVJ has a more aggressive aerodynamics. All of you who knows the Aventadors know that there is like, I think 5 different types. But and also the SVJ has a more aggressive air intake here for the radiator. It's bigger, wider. It has a different engine hood, this one. So this one will be replaced for another one. And also the rear end, the full rear end is different. So none of those parts will be used on this one because that's really big difference from the SVJ. However, the monocoque in the center here, this one is identical. The doors, the rear fenders, and the front fenders, and the hood, those are the same. So that will be kept. I think to get a better view of how it actually looks, we need something else. Something that really stands out. So let's see here. This is the rear wheels and custom made for this project, and it's 13-inch wide and 21-inch diameter. So it's accurate in offset and size as the original car. And the only difference I would say is that I'm using the 5-lug from BMW, since the original SVJ has a center lock. It has one nut in the center to lock the wheel to the hub. I'm using the BMW suspension more or less as a base at least, so that's why these wheels are designed with a 5-bolt from BMW. So that's the difference. Apart from that, visually it's the same. So 9-inch times 20 in diameter in front, and it's 21 and 13-inch in the rear. So huge wheels, but they do make the difference when the car is actually ready for the street. And to dress the wheels, we're gonna need some tires. This is Pirelli tires. In the front, it's a 255 30 20-inch. So, and it's a RO1 classification, which means it's an Audi R8. This is a good tire and affordable, quite small in diameter, but that's how it is. And in the rear, yeah, the rears are a different story. You can see both in height and width. So the rear tires is a monster. 355, 25, 21. And this is Lamborghini classification because Lamborghini is the only one using this tire dimension. So I had to get the original Lamborghini tires, which is, it cost me an arm and a leg, but still, it's necessary. We need to have these parts to get the right wheel base and the track width and everything before starting to build the frame. So it's unnecessary evil, but we had to have them. Yeah, like I said before, it's a tubular chassis. So we're gonna make a frame based on the dimension of the pipes, like the regulations for this kind of car is. This is in Sweden, so we have a regulation where we can actually build an amateur build car. So all this chassis design, we need to like use the proper dimension of the piping and everything. And then the plan is to have them laser cut so we can like fit it together and get the frame just like it's supposed to be. So this 3D drawing really allows us to modify if there should be like a gas tank or something we need to move out of location, or if we need to do something in terms of suspension or anything else. So it's really smooth tool to use. I'm gonna try explain further about the LP700, the body of the project right now, and the SVJ, the differences. So this is an LP700. And as you can see, the front is the same as the one on the project I got now. If I turn it around, it has the exhaust in the lower end, lower part of the diffuser in the rear. And you have this one here, the last part of the body, is a spoiler that lifts up at a certain speed, or if you want it to be up all the time. You have engine hood with a big glass showing the engine underneath. So that's also something that differs, the engine hood itself. Apart from that, you have here on the sides, there is like motorized air vents rising up when the engine compartment gets warm. So those are lifting up with some kind of actuator. So that's the main differences. And one more is also that the side vent here is bigger on the SVJ. So let's put them side by side. So that's the LP700, and here comes the SVJ. So now it gets easier to see the differences straight on. On the front, like I said, LP700 and the SVJ. More aggressive aerodynamics. You have an active aerodynamics in the front, and you have also those nostrils here. They are letting air pass over the car to hit the wing on the rear. So the front, more or less, it's the bumper. That's the main visual differences. If you go to the rear, there's differences in terms of exhaust. They are now in the place for the license plate, and the license plate is where the exhaust is on the other one. So that's one difference. You have also some aerodynamic curved part here, and you have the rear wing. The rear wing is integrated in the car. It's not the actuated that lifts up. So the wing is different and all the parts it's sitting on. Then the engine cover as well. A small glass window is just showing inside, but apart from that, you have air vents leading out air. And on the side where you had the motorized air vents on the LP700, you have permanent ones. So they are permanently open to cool off the engine. And the intake here, it's wider. As you can see, it is pointing out more from the car than it does on the other one. So those are the main differences. So that means that for this project, I need to replace the engine cover, those vents, and the whole back end, and the side part and the front bumper. That's needed. That's what's going to be replaced, and currently it's under production. So I hope by the end of this year I will have the body parts, everything to fit it like an SVJ and make it look like an SVJ. Okay, so next episode will be about the daily driver and some refurbish to that one. So it's gonna be a quite of a series where I work with the daily driver car. It's recorded from time, well, a few months ago until recent dates. It's what we're gonna do until we start with the Lamborghini concept car. And yeah, I hope it's gonna be interesting. I know it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, until then, take care.